All right, folks, buckle up because we're diving into the latest drama swirling around the NFL, but it's not about game highlights or incredible touchdowns. Nope, this one's all about politics. Our star of the show? Harrison Butker, the Kansas City Chiefs' celebrated kicker, has sparked a storm of controversy following his recent political endorsement of none other than Donald Trump. And as you can guess, this isn't just a typical news blip. Fans, celebrities, and teammates are all weighing in. And the reactions? Oh boy, they're fiery. So let's break this down step by step. First, who's Harrison Butker and how did we get here? Since joining the Kansas City Chiefs in 2017, Harrison Butker has quietly become one of the NFL's top kickers. He's been reliable, cool under pressure, and pretty much money when it comes to kicking those game-winning field goals. Chiefs fans love him, his teammates respect him, and he's got the stats to back up his status. Seriously, you could argue that without him, the Chiefs wouldn't have a couple of their recent playoff wins. But Butker's more than just a football player. Off the field, he's been open about his faith and conservative values, particularly when it comes to issues like the sanctity of life. It's clear that for him, faith isn't something he leaves in the locker room. It's a driving force in how he lives his life. Now, while many athletes keep their political beliefs close to the chest, Butker's taken a different approach. On October 11th, 2024, during a campaign event for Missouri Senator Josh Hawley, Butker took to the stage to endorse Donald Trump, particularly focusing on the issue of abortion. His remarks were deeply personal, reflecting his strong pro-life stance. In fact, Butker's known to be quite vocal about protecting the unborn, a reflection of his deeply held religious beliefs. But here's the kicker, pun intended. His political endorsement didn't just stay within the realms of a conservative rally. It hit mainstream media like a ton of bricks, and it didn't take long for fans, especially those of pop icon Taylor Swift, to clap back hard. Now, if there's one thing you should know about Taylor Swift fans, it's that they do not mess around. The Swifties, as they're lovingly called, are an army. When they get riled up, they're vocal, passionate, and they make sure the world knows how they feel. And in this case, the target of their collective frustration is Harrison Butker. Taylor Swift, who's been using her platform more and more in recent years to push progressive causes, has made no secret of her stance on women's rights and reproductive freedom. Back in 2018, she made headlines for breaking her silence on political issues, endorsing Democratic candidates, and urging her massive fan base to vote. Since then, Swift's advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights, racial equality, and reproductive rights has only grown. And she's even thrown her weight behind Kamala Harris for the upcoming presidential election. So when Butker, a high-profile NFL player, made his pro-life endorsement, it didn't sit well with Swift's fans. Social media exploded. Hashtags like #boycottButker and #kickhimout started trending as Swifties made it clear that they weren't here for Butker's conservative stance. Some fans even called for boycotts of the Kansas City Chiefs altogether, a move that put the NFL team in a bit of an awkward spot. Of course, in the midst of all this noise, there's the question of how Butker's team is handling the controversy. The Chiefs are currently 5-0 and have their sights set on another Super Bowl run. The last thing they need is off-the-field distractions, especially when it comes to a player as crucial as their kicker. But to the team's credit, Butker's teammates have been supportive. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, arguably the face of the NFL right now, spoke up to defend Butker, saying that despite any differences in beliefs, Butker has always been a model teammate and a stand-up guy. Mahomes is known for his own diplomatic approach to political issues. He tends to steer clear of controversy, so the fact that he's publicly standing by Butker says a lot. Then there's tight end Travis Kelce, who's never been one to shy away from speaking his mind. Kelce echoed Mahomes' sentiments, emphasizing Butker's character and contributions to the team. In their eyes, Butker's political views don't change the fact that he's one of the most reliable players on the roster. And let's be real, in the high-stakes world of professional football, performance often speaks louder than politics. As long as Butker keeps nailing those field goals, it's unlikely the team will be too concerned about his personal beliefs. But not everyone's happy. While the Chiefs organization has remained relatively quiet on the matter, focusing on football instead of politics, it's hard to ignore that some fans are feeling divided. For some, Butker's endorsement hits a nerve, especially in a country where the political divide is already so intense. So where does the Chiefs organization stand in all this? Well, they've taken a pretty neutral approach so far. Head coach Andy Reid is keeping the team focused on football, and the organization hasn't made any major public statements regarding Butker's political stance. If there's one thing the Chiefs are good at, it's avoiding off-the-field distractions. And you can bet Andy Reid is reminding everyone that the focus should be on the game, not politics. But let's be real. Ignoring this completely might be wishful thinking. In today's hyper-politicized world, it's tough to separate sports from politics, especially when someone as high-profile as Butker makes a bold endorsement like this. And with the Chiefs having such a large fan base, it's only natural that not all fans are going to agree with Butker's stance. This whole situation with Harrison Butker raises a broader question about the intersection of sports and politics. It's no secret that in recent years, athletes have become more vocal about their beliefs, using their platforms to advocate for causes they believe in. Colin Kaepernick's kneeling protest against police brutality comes to mind, as does LeBron James's activism on racial justice. On the flip side, there are athletes like Butker who champion conservative values, and that too stirs the pot. In Butker's case, he's not the first athlete to face backlash for endorsing a conservative figure like Donald Trump. Just look at New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, who's been criticized for his friendship with Trump. But what makes Butker's situation stand out is the timing. With the 2024 election just weeks away, emotions are running high, and fans on both sides of the political spectrum are paying close attention to who their favorite athletes support. For some fans, athletes speaking out is a positive thing. It shows they care about more than just the game. For others, it's frustrating, especially when they don't agree with the athlete's views. But whether we like it or not, sports and politics have become intertwined, and that's unlikely to change anytime soon. Now, with all this drama swirling around, you might be wondering how this will affect the Kansas City Chiefs season. As we mentioned earlier, they're 5-0, and they're gearing up for a huge matchup against the San Francisco 49ers on October 20th, 2024. This is a critical game, not just for their playoff hopes, but also for maintaining momentum as they push deeper into the season. For the Chiefs, the focus right now is on football, and for the most part, the team seems determined not to let this controversy become a distraction. Head coach Andy Reid is all about keeping his players focused on the task at hand, and you can bet he's preaching that in the locker room. As for Butker, the pressure's on, not just from the field, but also from the court of public opinion. Will the backlash from Swift's fans continue to haunt him? Probably. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs' priority is winning games. As long as Butker keeps performing at an elite level, it's unlikely the team will feel any real pressure to respond to the controversy. But fans? That's a whole other story. So where does this leave us? Well, the ball's in the fans' court. Will the backlash die down? Or will the calls for boycotts grow louder? It's tough to say. In the age of social media, these kinds of controversies can either fizzle out quickly or gain steam as more people weigh in. One thing's for sure, Harrison Butker isn't backing down from his beliefs, and Taylor Swift's fans aren't letting this one go without a fight. It's a classic case of sports colliding with politics, and it's yet another reminder that in today's world, the two are more connected than ever. At the end of the day, though, this story isn't just about football or politics. It's about the power of personal beliefs, the platforms athletes have, and the way those beliefs can ripple through not just a team, but an entire fan base. Whether you're Team Butker or Team Swift, one thing's certain, this story's far from over. Let's see what happens on the field on October 20th. Because as always in the NFL, the game's never over until the final whistle blows. Yes, that's the way it goes on.